The future. It's not too far off, and neither is the technology that it will bring. We know for certain that they will make life more streamlined than it has ever been before, but will the intentions behind this technology be virtuous or malicious? As y'all have already heard, technology is already embedded into many different facets of our life. Now I would like to discuss the different ways that technology might affect us in the future. There are many different ways that technology will affect our future, but I would like to specifically discuss future technology and how it may be applied, how humans will behave and react to technology, and how warfare might be affected. Let's take a closer look at some of the new developments in technology. A future technology that is already here is the automation of vehicles. As is mentioned in the revered long-running YouTube channel CPG Gray, AI is already a safer driver than the average human. This means that when the cost of automating cars becomes attainable for the average consumer, there will be tons of driverless cars on the road. There is also extensive research being put into wireless tech. Though there are many ways that engineers are researching wireless tech, the one that stands out the most for me is the one that has to do with wireless power sources. We have already seen some devices that are able to charge without wires via a pad of some sort. But some engineers want it to take a step further. The hope is that one day people will be able to charge their phones without even taking it out of the pocket through a device that works like a Wi-Fi router. We all know that the future of tech and devices that will come out will be amazing, but let's discuss how it might affect us and how we will react. People are becoming less social as we spend more time on our phones and devices. As Cohen stated in his 5-year study of human behavior with technology, the more time that a person spends behind a screen or on a device, the more likely it is that the individual will be socially inept. This could be catastrophic for society, as there are more and more of us are starting to rely on technology more than ever before. This trend means that in the future, social interactions will be rarer and more difficult. As technology makes our everyday lives easier, there will be less motivation to put effort into our actions. As people are able to shirk more of their mundane tasks off to AI or some type of automation, they will start to lose much of their attention spans, they'll start to increase in weight, and they'll have less ability with memory. And they'll be generally more indolent. We can already see this happening in the world around us. A prime example of this would be how people used to know the telephone numbers of all the people they cared about, but you would be hard-pressed to find someone who knew someone else's number nowadays. Now that we've discussed some of the more dialogue subjects of the future technology, let's discuss a subject that usually isn't talked about. When people talk about warfare, they usually think about a battlefield with bullets and explosions. But the battlefield has shifted onto the web and behind our screens. Because of how much time we spend online, our time and our views are extremely valuable. As rocket scientist Destin Saldin says on his YouTube channel, Smarter Every Day, there's a constant battle on the web of people trying to infiltrate and divide our cultures and our nations. By doing this, enemies can gain advantages by weakening their enemy or even changing an individual's opinion so that they turn on their neighbors. In all of history, we can see that wars that aren't supported by their people will fail. A great example of this type of warfare is how in the previous American presidential election, there was a divisive issue as to whether there were alterations done by a foreign country which divided our country even more. All this said, I do believe that technology can lead us into a bright utopian future, but that we must monitor how it is used and not forget to care more about the humans around us than the technology we have. Technology has a huge role in our lives and will only continue to evolve and get more complex. We hope that you have learned something about technology that you haven't already known. We thank you for listening.